Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric, and I hope you guys are having a great day today. And today, this is Prehistoric extra episode number 87, and we're going to be talking about my trip to the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, Illinois. And so, let's actually get started with this, shall we? So here we go. So this is the front entrance to the Field Museum of Natural History. So this is where you go in. And so, like I said, it's located in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. It's in the museum district, or museum campus, I should say, the museum campus of Chicago. And so, like right across the road from the Field Museum is Soldier Field. That's where the Chicago Bears play. I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a Packers fan, by the way. Um, and then like next door to the Field Museum is also the Shed Aquarium, and then right next door to that is the planetarium. And so that's the museum campus of Chicago. And so hopefully you hopefully you guys get to go down there at some point. And so in the description of this video, I will put down the link to the Field Museum's website, and so you can go on there and check out like what they have for like all the exhibits, and also you can look at like what the price for admission is. If you got a pass, that's great, or a membership, that's great. um, yeah. And so let's actually look at some of the prehistoric animals that I got to see, basically the fossils and the replica skeletons that I got to see in there. So first is the Spinosaurus aegypticus, and so this Spinosaurus skeleton is hanging right above where you get to pay for your tickets. And so this is an amazing skeleton. This is the only Spinosaurus skeleton in the Western Hemisphere. So the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois, is the only museum in North America and even in South America that actually have a Spinosaurus skeleton. The other Spinosaurus skeletons are either in like Europe or otherwise in uh, like in Asia, those places. So they have Spinosaurus skeletons and all that, and and I think Europe has, I think somewhere in Germany they actually have some of the real material of Spinosaurus. But even though there's Spinosaurus material that has been collected for like European museums and even Asian museums as well. But yeah, this is Spinosaurus aegypticus, and so that's an awesome thing to see. There is get to see my first ever Spinosaurus skeleton. That's awesome. And here is the Patagotitan majorum, and so this is a Patagotitan skeleton, and its nickname in this Patagotitan in this museum is Maximo. The Spinosaurus is named Sobek. I just want you guys to know that it's named Sobek, and so yeah. And so Patagotitan, it's a really large skeleton there. In this picture that is on the left, you can kind of see my dad and my brother there, as a scale compared to the Patagotitan. That's that's a good representation right there of a scale. And yeah, and also here's like a good picture from above on the second floor, so that way you can get to see that a little bit better there. And here's another view from the second floor, when you get to go there, and where you get a little bit closer to the skull. And so that's actually a really neat picture right there. And so here is Archaeopteryx. This is the newest addition to the Field Museum. So this is an Archaeopteryx that was donated to them from a private collector in Switzerland. And so yeah, this is a really good specimen. It is a real specimen, when you get to check that out. And yeah, you get a good close up look at those teeth on the skull of Archaeopteryx. It's awesome. This is an awesome skeleton. I wish I got to see the actual like uh, holotype specimen, but that's in Germany, and Germany has the holotype specimen. But I've seen replicas of the holotype specimen, but the holotype specimen replicas are still good. But in this is still awesome too. You could still see the feather impressions on some of the bits of the wings. There, the tail's not really is not fully well preserved, but it's actually a very, very cool skeleton nonetheless. And so we actually get to the evolving planet exhibit. So this is like the exhibit that I've always wanted to get into a little bit more, because this one is such an iconic uh like exhibit, because they got all sorts of stuff there, like a bunch of like fossils and replicas of like different types of uh, prehistoric creatures from like all the different types of time periods. And so you're in the beginning of evolving planet, so you get a little bit closer towards the Paleo Lab, because the Paleo Lab, when you're heading towards the evolving planet exhibit, the Paleo Lab is actually is on the right of the, like, before you get inside the evolving planet exhibit. And here is a Rhamphorhynchus skeleton that is just right behind the Archaeopteryx. And the Archaeopteryx is right outside the evolving planet exhibit, just to let you guys know. And so, yeah, so this is out. So here's a Rhamphorhynchus fossil right there. And when you get into the evolving planet exhibit, you actually get to go. When you go into the entrance, the entrance is basically you're going through the Earth, like when Earth came to be, and then you go through all the different time periods in Earth's history. And so you get to the Precambrian stuff, which is basically like the beginning of the Earth, all the way towards like the very first like life forms, basically like bacteria and some of the more complex life forms. But when you get to the Paleozoic uh, era, when you get to the Paleozoic era, that's where you get to see some the really cool fossils and all that. And so here we get some trilobites, and so this is mostly like Cambrian, Silurian, Devonian, some bits of the Carboniferous types of trilobites. I don't know if they do have. Um, I don't remember if they did have Permian trilobites, because trilobites were still around in the Permian, but there were very few of them left in the Permian. But like, yeah, but you get to see some pretty cool trilobite fossils, and that dome here in this uh, in this left picture, that is mostly all real trilobite fossils. The one on the right, I believe that one is a replica, but there is an actual fossil of this somewhere. I don't remember where the holotypes, where this specimen came from, but it is. But these are really, really good specimens. Here we get some Cambrian fossils, and that's actually cool. You get to see Anomalocaris appendages right there. Those are the appendages of Anomalocaris. You get to see some worm-like creatures of fossils. These are real fossils, by the way. These are actual fossils right here. These are really cool. You also get like worms. You get like some of the very first vertebrate type of fossils too. So that's actually really, really neat. And we get some Ordovician and Silurian stuff. And so on the right picture right there, that is a straight cone nautiloid, uh, like a kind of like say Orthoceras, but this one's a much larger type of straight cone nautiloid. It's a different type of species there, but it's a really nice model. And then you get some of the fish species here, and some of the fish, like armored fish, right here from the Ordovician and Silurian. That's actually really, really neat there. There's some really, really good Ordovician and Silurian fossils here. And here we got some shark fossils. There are some shark fossils here. So you actually got the Helicoprion fossil right here. This is one of the smaller specimens. And you get this really cool shark specimen right here on the bottom. That is one of the very first sharks to actually be around. This one I believe is from the Devonian or the Carboniferous. And then you get to see this wall of shark teeth right here. So you get like some common sharks up here, and then you get a little bit closer towards like some extinct species of sharks. So like Otodus and Megalodon. You get Megalodon teeth there. There are jaws of Megalodon in this museum. It's like right at like um, right by the Paleo Lab. I did not get a chance to get pictures of that. I regret doing that, But like, yeah. So, but yeah, you get some shark fossils here. There's some pretty cool shark fossils. And here is Dunkleosteus, the one of the iconic. This is an iconic specimen, very iconic specimen. The original one is in the Cleveland Museum. I believe this one's a replica, and so you get a really good look at the Dunkleosteus skull. That is just such a cool skull. If you ever got to see a Dunkleosteus skull, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys get like chills going down your spine just looking at it. It's just so cool. And we got some Devonian fossils, and so we got some of the lobe-fin fish that were there, and one of the more iconic lobe-fin fish right here is Tiktaalik. There's a model of Tiktaalik, and I believe this is a replica of Tiktaalik's fossil, and so Tiktaalik is an iconic fossil right here. And so you get a good look at it, and like the model of Tiktaalik is so cool. It's so good. It's so good. Very well, very well done. And you get some Carboniferous models right here. So you get like Arthropleura, which is here on the right. There is an Arthropleura fossil. I believe it's the end of Arthropleura, if I remember correctly. There is a fossil of it right there, and then you get like the giant dragonfly type of model right here. I believe this one's supposed to be Meganeura, if I remember correctly. But yeah, you get some cool plant fossils from the Carboniferous. Get the coal from the east coast of the United States, and that is Carboniferous. Like you get some really good fossils from the Carboniferous, including amphibians too. And here is the Tully monster. This is the state fossil of Illinois. So the Tully monster. So these are the actual fossils right here on this picture on the left. And here's a model of the Tully monster. And a much closer look right here on the right. These are cool. These are cool fossils. Model though is actually really neat. It's such a weird looking animal when you actually get to see this model. It's so weird. Then we get amphibians. There is some big amphibian fossils. Here is Eriops, and then here's that boomerang head type of amphibian. And so, yeah, you got some really nice amphibian fossils. Most of these are replicas, but I think this one, the boomerang head amphibian, believe that one is the actual fossil that is on display. I believe that is the actual fossil. The Eriops one, I believe, is a replica. But yeah, these are cool specimens. We get some Permian fossils. Here is like some of the icons of the Permian, especially this one in this bigger picture right here, Dimetrodon. That is the icon of the Permian. You also get a Gorgonopsian skull. You get like a little bit larger amphibian right here, and then you got uh, yeah, Edaphosaurus. You get Edaphosaurus right there. So you get both sailback icons, and then you get like a large amphibian, and also you have the Gorgonopsian. The Gorgonopsian skull is just so cool, so cool. Most of these are replicas. Real fossils of these are kind of hard to come by when you actually get to see these in display, but were mostly replicas. But I think they do highlight which ones are actually the real fossils. If I remember correctly. But yeah, this is really cool stuff right here. And by the way, they do actually show like signs of like the different types of extinctions when you're actually going into when you're walking in the evolving planet. So you get the Ordovician extinction, Devonian, Permian, KPG, and also the Triassic too. You get the Triassic extinction a little bit too, but they mostly talk about the Ordovician, Devonian, Permian, and KPG. That's what they talk about mostly for those extinctions. And here's Mesozoic fossils, and so here we got some phytosaur skulls, and you got Desmatasuchus from the Triassic. Those are actually really neat. It's a really neat stuff. And some dinosaurs, of course. We got some dinosaurs here in the Mesozoic display. So we got Stegosaurus here on the left, and there's Herrerasaurus. So you get the skeleton and the life-size model of Herrerasaurus, and so that's awesome. And if you follow me on Instagram, I actually have a reel that looks at the entire exhibit right there of the Triassic, like reptiles and of course Herrerasaurus. Then we got some Jurassic sauropods, and so we have Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, Diplodocus skull, Camarasaurus, and here's Rebeccasaurus, if I remember correctly. I can't remember how it's pronounced. Rebeccasaurus, if I remember correctly. But yeah. So you got a Brachiosaurus skull. There's an entire Apatosaurus skeleton. You got a Diplodocus skull, Camarasaurus skull. Like, yeah, these are cool specimens. Very cool specimens. They do have a Brachiosaurus skeleton outside of the Field Museum. I believe it's on the left side of the museum when you're actually kind of walking towards it, but it's hard to see it now. When I went there, it was kind of gloomy and kind of not a very good time, and was not really good to actually get to see that skeleton. There is one in the O'Hare Airport in Chicago. And here's some of the Jurassic theropods. So you got the actual fossil of Cryolophosaurus. Cryolophosaurus actual fossils are here in the Field Museum. So this partial skull of Cryolophosaurus is here, and then you got an Allosaurus fragilis skull. This is mostly a replica, but I think they do have an Allosaurus in their collection because the Field Museum goes to different types of places to collect fossils. And you got the Madagascar theropods. So you got Majungasaurus, the Majungasaurus skull right here, and Mashikasaurus. So the Madagascar theropods, and the and so Majungasaurus specimens, the more famous skull, is in the Field Museum. This one is a replica, but they do have the fossil skull of one in their collection in like the storage area where they keep the fossils. And we got other types of theropods. These are Cretaceous theropods. So we got Deinonychus, that bigger raptor right there, Woodtree raptor, the smaller one right here, and then we got Daspletosaurus, one of the Tyrannosaurs. And so this is the only other Tyrannosaur uh, besides the one I'll be talking about a little bit later on that is in the Field Museum. This used to be on display in the main hall many years ago, like say before, probably like say 1990, probably like say the last time it was on the main hall was like 1999, if I remember correctly. And before they put in the like more iconic thing that is in the Field Museum. And here's Triceratops horridus. This is one of the really nice displays of Triceratops horridus right here. There's a little comparison of ceratopsian skulls. There's a Protoceratops right there on the near the tail of Triceratops right there. And here's some of the Hadrosaurs. So you got a juvenile Maiasaura and a Parasaurolophus. And so these are really nice specimens right there. These are really good skeletons right here. And we get the Western Interior Seaway of the Late Cretaceous. Some of these are actual fossils, and there's others that are replicas, and so these are really neat. You actually have a lot of like the fish, mosasaurs, other marine reptiles, ammonites, uh, and other types of fish. Like here's Zavactinus, and then you also have pteranodon skeletons hanging on the ceiling right near the Western Interior Seaway display. And then the icon of the Field Museum. This is the icon right here, the most famous thing in the Field Museum, and that is Sue, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So this is the actual skull. This is the actual skull on display because Sue is in the Evolving Planet exhibit, but it has its own room, so to speak. It has its own room, and so the actual skull is separate from the skeleton, and so they have a replica skull on display with the skeleton, but this one's a little bit more distorted um, because of how it was fossilized. and the actual skull's too heavy to be put on display with the skeleton, and so they had to put it separate. You can see like the teeth. You also see the holes in the back of the jaw from that infection, and just a cool skull. It's not the cleanest skull, but it's actually really really cool. It's so big too. When you get close to it, you're just in awe of how big it is. And here's Sue's skeleton, and so you actually get to see Sue in its own like display here in the evolving planet. There's like these screens right here where they kind of have like the uh like what the environment was like when Sue was alive, and they have an actual light show, an actual very interactive light show, talking about Sue, like which bones on the skeleton are the actual fossils, which ones are replicas that they put on to fill in the gaps of some bits of the skeleton. They highlight the injuries. They also uh, highlight like all the different things about Tyrannosaurus Rex, and so it's so good. I highly recommend you guys get to see Sue at some point in the Field Museum. Go see Sue. It is so good. I know there's a traveling exhibit, but that's not the actual uh, Sue. That is not the actual Sue. It's a replica that just goes on tour. The real thing stays in the Field Museum, and so you get to see all bits of Sue right here, right in front of you, when you get to see it, and it's a good light show when you actually get that chance to go see it. It is awesome. Then we get the Cenozoic fossils, and so here is a Uintathere type of creature right here on the wall on this display right here. You can definitely see the name of this fossil right here. It's definitely Uintathere, it's not totally a Brontothere. It's definitely Uintathere right here. But we get see some cool Cenozoic fossils here. So we got like an early horse. You also see an early camel. Some of the Nimravid, uh, a Nimravid skull right here on the left of this picture, and then you got a Mars. I think this is I think this is the marsupial sabertooth, the saber-tooth marsupial, if I remember correctly. And you get Archaeotherium, and you also have like I believe this is Denictus. Yeah, this is Denictus. There is a Hyenodon skull right above it too. So yeah, you get the White River Formation type of stuff, and like yeah, this is actually really really good stuff. And also you get to see like whale fossils, and so you get like some of the early whales, like the walking whales, Basilosaurus, and early baleen whale, and then and why not throw in a terror bird in here, a forest rocket from South America? Cool stuff right there. And you get the Xenathrans from the Pleistocene, and so you get like a Glyptodon here is a swimming uh, ground sloth, and then you get the biggest ground sloth ever, and that is Megatherium. They have Megatherium in the Field Museum. The biggest, one of the biggest ground sloths. That is in it. When I got to see that right there in front of me, I was just in awe of how huge it is. It is a big, big skeleton. Then we have the woolly mammoth. They will have a woolly mammoth for the Pleistocene, especially for the Ice Age time. I believe this one was found in the somewhere in the Midwest. I believe somewhere in Illinois. This woolly mammoth fossil. Then you have Castoroides, the giant beaver, and you also have the American mastodon. And so many of these have been found in the areas, like say in the Midwest and all that. So, because I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Wisconsin, and so there's mastodon fossils and woolly mammoth fossils in Wisconsin. Castoroides, I don't think there's one that has been discovered in Wisconsin yet, but I could be wrong. But I know Illinois does have Castoroides fossils and American mastodon and woolly mammoth. And here's some of the other types of creatures that are from the Ice Age, like Megaloceros, a giant Irish elk. Here's an Ice Age horse. And then we got one of the giant Ice Age bison. And so that's cool stuff right there as well. And then we get the predators of the Ice Age. So we got like the skulls of dire wolves or Canis dirus, and then you have the icon of the Ice Age of the predator of the predatory animals, and that is Smilodon fatalis, or the saber-toothed cat. And so this is a really cool stuff. They do mention the La Brea tar pits because of the dire wolves and the saber-toothed cats in Smilodon. And so yeah, that's actually cool stuff. That's really cool. Then you get some bears. The picture on the left, that is a cave bear from Europe, and then these two ones, the one in the middle and the one on the right, that is the giant short-faced bear, or Arctodus simus. So the giant short-faced bear, and it's standing erect, standing on its hind legs to show you how tall it is. Like when you get to see it, how when you get to see how tall a giant short-faced bear is, you're just in awe, and you're just glad that it's no longer around. And also, there's hominids. There is hominids here in the Field Museum. They mostly have replicas here. They don't have the actual things. I believe there's a few of them that they do have on display here. I think a couple of the skulls and like the Australopithecines, and also like the I think one of the Neanderthal, or I think one of the Neanderthal ones is actually the actual skull in this one. But they have replicas. Like here's a replica of Lucy. Uh, there's like an early hominid, and then you got a Neanderthal right there on the far left. And here is some life-size pterosaurs right here. So you got Pteranodon, these two, and Quetzalcoatlus models. And when you get to the one that is standing up like that, it is huge. These are life size. I am not kidding. These are life size models. But of course, the Film Museum does have other exhibits. They have like a gem hall, ancient Egypt, ancient China, ancient Americas, geology, zoology, and they have special exhibits out there as well. The special exhibits that were there when I went, it was June 1st when I went. They had bloodsuckers and oceans unseen. So those are the special exhibits right now. I don't know how long they're actually going to be in the Field Museum. I don't know how much longer they're going to be in, but yeah. And so I'll leave a link in the description of this video, like I said before, of the Field Museum, so that way you guys can check it out. And if you want to go visit the Field Museum, please do so. Please do so. It is an amazing museum. You can spend the entire day going through the Field Museum. You have to spend the entire day in this museum. Uh, and like, I'm serious. This is a museum that you have to spend an entire day walking around. Your feet will be sore at the end of the day, but like, hey, it's still worth it to go see some cool stuff, cool specimens, like amazing displays. Zoo exhibit is very interactive. It's become a lot more interactive lately for the Field Museum, because last time I was there, it was uh, in August of 2011, so it was like 13 years ago. And Sue was in the main hall and not in a room in the Evolving Planet at that point in time, and that was during her 10-year anniversary in the Field Museum. And so yeah, this is a great museum. Go check it out for yourselves, guys. This is an amazing museum when you get that chance. If you have been there, like let me know in the comments. If you've been there, if you've not been there, please let me know in the comments. And so the next episode will be on June 27th, 2024, and that'll be a special episode. I'll let you guys know what kind of prehistoric I'm going to talk about, so stay tuned for that. But you can still send me questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messenger's a private conversation, so please put your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post. And also for YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel according to my analytics, so a lot of you guys are checking out my channel and are not subscribed yet. So So please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works now. The more likes the video gets, the more likely the video gets spread out to people that are interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so, and also share the video, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, geology in general as well. Feel free to do so, and also hit that notification bell so that way you can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. So please feel free to do so. And also, for YouTubers out there, leave your questions in the comment section, because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot. All the videos that are sending me questions via email, Facebook, YouTube. You guys are giving me some great questions for the Q&A episodes, so keep up the great work for doing that. And also make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I'll post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Threads, same thing, at dino.chris.pf. I'll post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you. Also, for your younger people out there, to make sure listening to parents, your teachers, and your guardians, it's the best motivation for good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. I do want to say I apologize for making this video really, really long. I had a lot of pictures to put up on here, and so, but yeah, it's just, this is really, really well worth it, guys. This is worth it. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.